said the rule of law is a political and legal ideal that all people and institutions within a country, state, or community are accountable to. This simply means that no one is above the law. And the term rule of law is closely related to constitutionalism. And constitutionalism is the belief that government authority derives from fundamental law. Gentlemen of the press, it was Aristotle that wrote, and I quote, "It is more proper that law should govern than any one of the citizens," unquote. This is why in democracies all over the world, government officials, whether in the executive, legislature, or judiciary, pledge first and foremost to uphold the Constitution, to always affirm that the rule of law is superior to the rule of any human leader. Some of the ingredients of the rule of law include protection of basic political and civil rights, prevention of arbitrary use of power by any public institution or authority. In fact, the rule of law is a sine qua non for good governance. From the points we have thoughtfully formulated above, it would not be out of place for any journalist in this room today to confidently construct beautiful headlines that we pull by the nose, given the notorious fact that Alhaji Abdullahi Ganduje, who happens to be the current national chairman of our political party, who promised internal democracy for the party on the 3rd day of August 2023, after his ratification by the National Executive Committee of our party, has managed the Rivers State chapter exactly like a workman quarreling with his tools. We are worried that Alhaji Ganduje is doing everything possible to bully the very principles of progressivism upon which our party was founded, and to even imagine the peculiarity of the Rivers State chapter of the party, where tons of human beings created by the Almighty God had their lives cut short for their membership of the APC. It is sad that there is a conspiracy to delete the memories of all our supporters who unfortunately lost their lives. There is an attempt to rewrite the history of the party here in Rivers State and ensure that justice is not served on sponsors and perpetrators of the barbaric crimes that took place in 2015, 2019, and 2023. Regrettably, our party has suffered avoidable media bashing in recent weeks and months due to the dictatorial leadership style of Alhaji Ganduje, who seems to be in such a hurry to rewrite history. We mean our very painful history. For instance, the national chairman of the ruling political party in Nigeria, our party, the largest in Africa, openly sanctioned media briefings by members of his National Working Committee and sought to justify his illegal decision of setting up caretaker committees and denigrating judgments or orders of courts. you may take the hint that the Rivers State chapter of the All Progressive Congress is not the only chapter of our party that has lingering issues or matters pending in the court of law. We believe that choosing to make undemocratic utterances which has given a black eye to internal party democracy and arming opposition political parties with points to the markets our own party, the APC, and further discouraging investors from investing in Nigeria, as the very national chairman of the ruling party has kept on telling the international community by way of his own very actions that the party has no regard for the rule of law and the decisions of our courts. Gentlemen, it is this undemocratic, despotic, and unconstitutional leadership style adopted by Alhaji Ganduje that has emboldened some group of political hustlers, loyalists of the FCT minister here in Rivers State, who were first unilaterally created in the form of a caretaker committee on November 22nd, 2023, an action which ousted the powers of both the APC constitution, which was amended 26 March 2022, and Section 46 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The purported dissolution of all organs of our party in Rivers State on the 22nd day of November 2023, and a reversal of that illegal exercise by Rivers State High Court presided over by Justice Ika Aprioku on August 12, 2024, after 264 days of litigations. In suit number PAC/3592/CS/2023, Samsam Etetegun for himself and others versus Alhaji Ganduje and others. And number 2, Chief Banax Ezeboy Eyin and others versus the All Progressive Congress and others. Suit number PAC/3735/CS/2023 have become subject of media trial by those who received the necessary judicial hammer. It may interest you to note that a similar move to illegally dissolve elected state executives of the Benue State chapter of the All Progressive Congress was equally set aside on November 28, 2024 by Justice T.A. Kume of the Makurdi High Court for similar reasons as clearly elucidated in Justice Aprioku's judgment, which favored elected executives of the party in Rivers State. Please see suit number MHC/1587/2024. Honorable Austin Agada and others versus APC and Benjamin Omale. So, we can all see that the law is the law whether you operationalize it in Benue or Rivers State, because these matters were thoroughly canvassed before the courts by applicants and defendants alike for, like I said before, 264 solid days. And we thought it was within the rights of those who are not comfortable with the rulings delivered by Justice Aprioku to test the judgments at the higher court and refrain from denigrating the courts, as Ganduje's NWC has not only told this part of infamy, but encouraged the political hustlers in Rivers State to keep on doing the same thing just to please the FCT minister. Gentlemen, one of the reasons for talking to the media today is to expose the satanic lies peddled by these individuals who are obviously pretending to be Democrats, but their actions keep exposing their underbelly as serial anti-democrats and unbelievers in the rule of law. Let it be known that the Benue State High Court, we took a similar stand as the Port Harcourt High Court, frowned at the fact that the APC willfully and barefacedly chose to throw her own constitution to the dustbin, and there is no court anywhere that can encourage lawlessness nor despotism. Therefore, it is only a higher court that can set aside the judgment orders issued by Justice Afe Babalola on the 12th day of August 2024. And importantly, I repeat, an appeal cannot stop the enforcement of Justice Afe Babalola's judgment, as beneficiaries of such order are bound by law to reap the fruits of that judgment. Again, since the High Court judgment is on appeal, and the Court of Appeal has fixed the 4th and 12th days of February 2025 to hear the matter, what was or is the rush in countering the order of court by purporting to conduct congresses in Rivers State? Secondly, we have read the very hypocritical and defeatist narrative that these losers have chosen to weave in order to entertain the band of political merchants escorting them to judicial Golgotha. For example, taking idiocy to supersonic levels by talking about suspending or expelling Chief Emeka Beke and the rest of us who are rightful officers of the party in the state, and accusing us of collaborating with the governor of Rivers State to embarrass the APC. If we may ask, which of the APCs are we talking about? The one they sabotaged in 2015, 2019, and 2023? Is it the same APC that they abandoned to join the SDP? Jumped ship openly to campaign for the PDP and the governor Fubara in Rivers State as against the governorship candidate of our party? Or is it the APC they claim to belong to that is peopled by over 80% of supporters and loyalists of the ACT minister, who they carefully crafted as utopian executives of the APC in Rivers State? The APC that just one man bought party executive nomination forms for everybody in their now properly dissolved, nullified, discarded, illegal congresses. Well, we think that they should be talking about PDAPC and not the APC at all. Well, we do not understand how persons who by the clear judgment of court have no business discussing our party affairs, nor stretching their luck by impersonating the executives of the party in Rivers State, can delve into the realms of expelling the landlords of the party in Rivers State. These individuals still talking to you, the press, Okocha and his friends, I'm referring to them now, are not officers of our party and have never been. These chaps are supposed to be cooling off behind bars for being contemptuous of court together with fellow wannabes on same shameful and uninspiring path. Let me take leave to comment that in professional advertising, wannabes are referred to as persons who pretend to be what they are not. We are therefore tempted to pose the following questions. Number one, is it this collaboration, we are now referring to the so-called collaboration they accuse us of having with the governor of Rivers State? Is it this collaboration they accuse us of that also led to the November 28, 2024 nullification of the contraption that Alhaji Ganduje attempted to impose on the Borno State chapter of our party? 2, is it the collaboration that is also responsible for the court cases over party executives in Enugu, or the deep differences within the Bayelsa, Abia, Kwara, and other chapters of the APC? Is it this collaboration that also forced Alhaji Ganduje's NWC to conduct 2 Guba primaries in Edo State and also led to the embarrassment Ganduje brought upon our party by congratulating the wrong candidate on the 17th of February 2024? Is it this collaboration that miraculously provided a private jet that ferried Alhaji Ganduje and his delegation from Abuja to Port Harcourt on December 13, 2024? Is it this collaboration that yielded the thousands of dollars distributed through Mr. Victor Giadom to Alhaji Ganduje's delegation on December the 13th? We have always been aware that these political hustlers know nothing about the constitution of the APC, and so we invite them to study pages 89 to 100 of our constitution to school themselves properly, since they have accepted that they cannot survive without consistently playing very ignoble roles in our polity. Finally, we invite Nigerians to take note of 2 unimpeachable facts. Number 1, that the judgment delivered by Honorable Justice Sika Iperoku of the State High Court on the 12th day of August 2024 in favor of all elected officers of the party in Rivers State from the what? Local governments to state level still subsists and has not been vacated. And number 2, that another court presided over by Justice Godswill Obomanu has rendered the purported congresses conducted in Rivers State against court judgment by Alhaji Ganduje and his friends has been rendered impotent, has been castrated by the force of law, has been nullified, set aside, therefore never existed, does not exist, and will not exist until a higher court says otherwise. statement is signed by Darlington Nwauju, who today speaks by the grace of God for the All Progressive Congress in Rivers State. Thank you very much. I think that is defeatist and at the same time escapist. Now, why do I say so? I do not have any personal or proxy relationship with anybody in Fubara's government. In fact, I do not know any one of them. And so, it is the most ludicrous, opprobrious, and unacceptable. It's an insult to refer to me as Governor Fubara's agent. Is insulting. I had supported the former governor of Rivers State, Farotimi, wholeheartedly, all through his time as governor. I never got 1 penny of a contract from that government as minister. I had supported him. I never got, and I challenge anybody to contradict my claims. I am not one of those I refer to as belematic politicians whose loyalty is only driven by the continuous flow of the milk in the feeding bottle. And whenever it dries up, loyalty also dries up. I stand and I speak, and I'll keep on standing on my personal idiosyncrasies, my personal beliefs. There are things I can never be associated with. Let me say this: those who are quick to accuse others, we are the same person that came on air and said, if you get us angry, we'll talk more about how Wike funded the court processes against the APC in Rivers State. We'll call the amount. So we are all aware, it's an open secret that these same individuals are being bankroled by the FCT minister. And I am aware that I have not marked any single project attracted to Rivers State by that minister. Whereas other ministers like the Interior Minister has revolutionized their ministries with lesser funding, with lesser budgetary provisions. And so when we talk, people should support, because the Constitution, I think Section 313 or so, talks about supporting whatever claims with evidences. I challenge anybody to come up with their evidences to that very outlandish claim.
Okay, you are speaking for your chairman.
I have spoken, and that is the position of the party.
Okay, sir. Is it comfortable if we say Ganduje is behind the misfortunes of APC in Rivers State? Secondly, you say there is this ploy to expel landlords of APC in Rivers State. Now, we know that Amechi is the leader of the party there in Rivers State. Does that ploy also affect you? Do you think there is a grand ploy to sanction and expel you, others, and Amechi in Rivers State?
Well, we have read the text of a statement they came up with, and by the deductions of those of us who are executives of the party, this is a strategy they want to deploy in order to, of course, you know what it means. They want to frustrate the cases in court. Because I have studied, in fact, I'm going to pass on the judgment of Justice Afe Babalola and that of the Makurdi High Court, because I've studied both. You know, something is interesting. Media practitioners or journalists cannot be daft set of people. These are very enlightened people, and you cannot keep on bamboozling them with one sort of information in order to get them to push your own narrative. That would be wrong. And so today I came with both judgments, and I know that even after writing our story, you go through, you take your time and go through this judgment and see the slip-ups that the APC and the National committed, and the court got them hammered. And I dare predict that the Supreme Court cannot overturn those judgments. It will be very difficult, because they have argued that these are internal party arrangements. But now, an internal party arrangement where your own very constitution provides in Article 21, Sub 1, 21, Sub 2, 21, Sub 3, 21, Sub 4, tells you about how to go about disciplining erring members of your party. It is abundantly clear. You never took any of those steps. You went ahead by fiat to announce dissolution of elected executive. That was not the argument that was brought before the Supreme Court. Don't even forget the matter between Ogbobula and Ighodalo that went all the way to the Supreme Court. I am a direct beneficiary because I was local government chapter chairman of the All Progressive Congress. So I know, I have the particulars of that matter. It was not about dissolving elected executives and now going to court to say we have the right to dissolve. No, APC had caretaker committees all over Nigeria, and someone came up on his own to make himself chairman of the party, and other members of the state executive committee, because they are statutory members, former House of Rep members, former governors, came up and said no. Yes, the SEC has powers to make laws or policy to direct the party at the state level, but we have not chosen you. We have chosen this person. That was what and how came about the emergence of the Right Honorable from Degeman, the former Sokonte Davis. That was what led to his emergence as interim chairman of the party, and now finally Ogbobula. So, and these guys went to court to challenge the decision of the party, and the Supreme Court said no. The party has a right. It's an internal arrangement. And so how can you compare such an ad hoc arrangement with statutory organs of the party? These are two different things. So when I listen to people talk, they are intelligent by half. It makes no sense to me. Which of the questions? Okay. Expulsion.
Ganduje is behind the crisis.
I have adumbrated. I have told you reasons why we feel so. Because perception is everything. Perception is very strong, and you cannot do away with perception. The fact that your steps, your actions points to a particular direction. Okay, what will you make with the fact that on the 26th of September we were led by Pastor Toyenko to the National Secretariat of the party to congratulate him on his emergence after his ratification on the 3rd of August 2023. What did he tell us? And at the end of the day, what is he doing? So that's why we are saying, with every sense of responsibility, that we think that he's sort of in a hurry about the Rivers APC crisis, but we have issues in other chapters of the party. So why don't you allow the courts to run its full course and then make a decision, and you subsequently respect the views and the opinions and the decisions of court and take it from there. But here we are, you went to court to challenge the judgment of the Rivers High Court. That is beautiful, and that is what democracy entails. But you did not now allow the Court of Appeal to decide the matter either way. You now resorted to self-help and went ahead conducting Congress. Who does that, for God's sake? And so you think that because we sit as officers of the party, or we are ambassadors of the party, we should now swallow hook, line, and sinker whatever comes from the national secretariat of the party. How? I have a background in the civil society, and I have a name to protect. And someone will now ask, is Darlington among these persons that they are tossing around? I won a case several years ago. Barrister Aya King was my lawyer. Ask him what happened in court. It was similar impunity. A federal parastatal felt they were too powerful, and that an individual will go nowhere challenging their powers. At the end of the day, what happened? So, I want to predict, unless a miracle happens, and which I doubt it will, because already on the 30th day of September this year, Her Lordship Justice Kekere-Ekun had warned that the Supreme Court of Nigeria, do not forget the Supreme Court is the court of policy for the country. Every decision of the Supreme Court becomes law. She had warned that it will not be taken lightly when decisions of court, whether interim or judgment orders, are disobeyed or disrespected or disregarded. So we want to see the panel of the Court of Appeal that is sitting on this particular matter now applauding parties to a matter who resorted to self-help and disrespected the others. In 2018, it was this same penchant for being in a hurry to run faster than the courts that led us to the infamous or famous Ibrahim Umar saga that led to our being kicked out of the ballot in 2019.
Thank you very much.